This is the Smart Beach Investor Podcast, where we explore how investors leverage real estate at the beach to live big lives and build their personal wealth. If you are an investor at the beach or you want to be, you've found the right place. Enjoy today's show and be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode of the Smart Beach Investor.
Hey, Katie, we have a great show. We got another guest today. That's awesome.
Great.
All disclosure, it's my wife.
Kris Moran.
Kris Moran.
Yep,
she has Beach Stays Vacations. Very good.
Great.
But first, as always, we have Katie Luce here with us.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Katie. All right. So, and I believe we have Kris on here right now. Are you on here, Kris?
I'm here. Hi.
Hello. So Kris is the owner of Beach Stays Vacations, and you are now managing how many properties?
25.
Oh my God.
25
That's
properties,
awesome.
growing fast. Mostly condos, some homes. Is that accurate?
Mostly condos, 2 homes.
2 homes. Is there a reason it's mostly condos? Do you want condos? Do you want houses? Does it matter?
It's just kind of worked out that way, but I do prefer condos to houses.
Okay. So here, let's start out here. I'm just going to bust right into this. What would you say is the state of play of the vacation rental market here in Destin, Florida, South Walton County, for Walton Beach?
Well, the last 2 years were really crazy bananas. I think mainly because Florida was one of the only places open in the country.
Yeah.
This year, we definitely are seeing a softer rental market. It hasn't been as bananas. It's still busy and still active, but it's not as bananas.
You can tell. You can tell because the traffic.
Yeah. It seems like it's back to our normal rental season of like Memorial Day to like August.
I think a lot of owners and people got used to the way it was the last 2 years where you could kind of ask any old price and you'd be full and you didn't have to leave your place nice. And it didn't matter. We were at 100% occupancy for most of the spring and summer. There weren't even hotels available. There was nowhere to stay. People were desperate.
There was no
It's
season.
not that same way this
It just
year.
kept going.
Yeah, it just kept going. But this year, it's not that same way. And I'm definitely seeing that properties that are not directly on the Gulf are not booking nearly as well as they did in years past. I think people are snatching up the Gulf front properties first.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because, we do a lot of sales, right? Real estate sales, condos, houses, land, all that type of thing. And we've noticed more so in the last couple weeks, last 4 weeks, the softening. Is that, and the anticipation is going to continue to soften, that more properties are going to come on the market. It's going to be harder to keep that high sales price and all that stuff. Did it turn up that fast with the property management, with the rentals too? Is it just like somebody turned a switch and things changed, or have we seen this coming?
Well, we really started to notice it during spring break. And I think there were only 2 weeks that were near 100% occupancy of the entire spring break season. A lot of spring break weeks were even at 50 or 60% along the Emerald Coast. So it definitely started in March with spring break and is continuing on. We still have June and July openings, which would have been unheard of by this point last year or the year before.
And that's across the board. That's not just you, because I know I've had property management companies come in and talk to us about our, real estate sales and referring people to them. They're saying they have vacancies. We haven't had conversations like that in years. So it's across the board that even the bigger players out there are seeing the exact same thing. And what do you think is causing this softening, Kris?
Well, I think there's a lot of factors at play. One is inflation. People are getting hit in the pocketbook for everything, and I don't think there's a lot of extra money for vacations. 2 is gas prices. We're mainly a drive-to destination. And if you're not, flight prices have gone up to crazy amounts. It's just very expensive for anyone to get here, no matter what mode of transportation they're taking. So if they're price sensitive or, haven't been saving that for that vacation, they probably don't have a lot of extra money. And then you hear people talking a little bit about beach fatigue. People have been coming here the last couple of years to the Emerald Coast, to all of Florida, because we were one of the few places open that you could still vacation, where now most of the country, most of the world is back up and open. Cruises are running again. You can travel to Europe. You can travel to bigger cities. There's a lot more options, and people might be thinking, all right, I've gone to the beach the last 2 years. I'm going to try a city or
Let me
Europe
go to Nashville.
or a
Let
cruise.
me go to Vegas or something. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because this is where you could only go. And everybody's like, been there, done that.
This was it.
Yeah.
We were their only choice for a while.
So what can what can owners do to increase their opportunity to collect these big rents? Because I think a lot of them planned on having big rent, have they not?
Well, you've got to be with the right property management company and have someone really looking out for you. When you're with some of these bigger companies, I don't think they notice every single condo and where, we watch and monitor our calendars like hawks, like we own the property and monitor that very carefully. Making sure you have your pricing right. Making sure you have an updated property with good amenities. You've got to set yourself apart from all the competition. There's so much competition. That's such a rental dense market. So anything that you can do to set yourself apart, provide beach service, provide a beach cart.
Let me push pause just for a moment because you're saying a lot of things here. We were talking with Andrew McClendon, who owns McClendon Builders, and he brought up something I thought was really interesting, Katie. Remember when he said, what the heck did he say again? He said something like, companies that provide really good service,
they're going to be the last people standing.
They're going to get a lot of work because so many businesses don't take care of their employees, don't take care of their customers.
Yeah, customer service is gone. Yeah.
But those those companies that do are going to flourish. I thought that was really insightful by Andrew. And I think you're saying the same thing because, we're married, so I see this on a day-to-day. Y'all, the gals you work with and have you helping out are at 11 out of 10 on the customer service and caring and jumping in when the phone rings, you're on it. When somebody's asking about client or owner is asking or requesting or whatever, there's no pause. Y'all are on it. I've gone to clean condos with you sometimes even. Mm-hmm. We get this stuff done, right? Is it fair to say that that's not the case with everyone?
No, I don't think so. I think for most people, if you're calling, a bigger property management company and asking a question, they've probably never been to that property. They don't know anything about it. I have property managers that are well paid. They aren't just $10 an hour employees. They know every property inside and out. We can answer almost every question that they have about the property. We go through and we make checklists of every property. We make sure there's a fire extinguisher. We write down the brand, make and model of each TV. Our biggest maintenance complaint is TVs because other guests come in and set up gaming systems or things like that and don't return it back. And then the people come and they can't figure out how to just turn on the news or something. So we keep a list of all of that and troubleshoot and get the people back up and running. We go behind the cleaners and the inspectors to make sure everything is up to a top standard. Cleanliness is so important for people. And right now it's almost impossible to hire good quality cleaners. It's hard to hire bad quality cleaners. So we go in behind them and pick up the slack on anything that's lacking.
Yeah, they expect that. And that's great that you guys are providing that because that's always a complaint too, right? The place is dirty or this is broken or whatever. So you getting ahead of that knocks that right out of it.
Always. And, just the way people, I've talked about this before, that the way people are traveling has changed. The way booking sites have kind of trained people to act when they're in these properties and train them for their expectations has been a difficult thing to conquer. Booking sites like Airbnb have a new air cover program that they're guaranteeing that you're going to have exactly what you were offered. And if you find any kind of safety condition or if an appliance isn't working, it can't immediately be fixed, they're offering to move you to a new place. Wow. We get crazy things. Last week, someone sent me a picture of their toddler's feet and wanted a full refund on their cleaning because there was 5 grains of sand on the bottom of his feet.
At the beach.
At the beach. How do I know that came from it's not realistic to think in a beach condo that you can remove every single grain of sand between every guest. Not to mention you just walked in the hallway and the parking lot and maybe got some sand on your shoes and brought it in.
Yeah.
But people have really lofty expectations and are quick to let you know of any little thing down to 5 grains of sand.
And talking about Airbnb, have they changed some rules? Because one of our neighbors, we also live in a rental heavy neighborhood. They rent out their place here, and then he also rents out a place in Colorado. And he said he had to change it to make that Colorado place his primary residence because Airbnb in that area won't let you rent it out unless it's your primary residence.
Oh,
yeah, and a lot of places, I know Atlanta has done some of that. A lot of places have. Here in Destin, of course, that's the primary driving factor. I don't think that will ever happen. But Airbnb has changed a lot of its rules for hosts. They're very centered on the side of the guest versus the host. And, I think a lot of guests take advantage of that and are looking for a free vacation or a discount. And so it's definitely a battle.
Hey, let me ask you this. So it's softening. We know it. We feel it. It's there. As Joe Biden would say, he can taste it. Anyway, let me ask you this. So we know that's going on. What's the go forward? What do you think happens this summer and going into the fall? What do you have any expectation of what's happening, or are we just going to ride it, see what happens?
Well, I think it's still going to be busy. I think that, we're going to have to tweak rates a little bit as time goes on. And, I'm still waiting for those July bookings to come in. I'm not, panicking and reducing those rates yet. As far as the fall and winter, I just think the nicer you can have your property and the more amenities you can offer to guests to set you apart from all the other properties are the things that make people feel happy when they arrive. Sound machines, the little things by the nightstand that you can plug in that hold USB ports and extra outlets for charging and just things like that. A little dedicated workstation that people can put their laptop and have a conference call where they're on vacation. Just any little amenity that you can have to set yourself apart.
So an owner listening to this, they're on with, one of the bigger players, Vacasa or whatever. There's no way Vacasa's doing all that. And, and Vacasa's great or whatever they are, but you own properties. Currently, we own properties, so we rent them out. So we know what it's like. You know what it's like and what renters want, what owners need, that kind of thing.
And you guys travel. So you know what you want when you guys travel.
So what do you think owners should do? I know you mentioned a couple things. Well, let me ask you this. Can an owner call you and have a consult about what y'all do and what you would recommend they do as an owner to ensure that if we are going to be soft, that one, they have a nice place, two, that they have the amenities or all that kind of stuff? Is that something you offer or be willing to talk to people about?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And right now I will take properties from Miramar Beach to Okaloosa Island or Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Alabama. That's kind of our territory of where we take properties. I don't take a property on my program unless it is really remodeled and fixed up and nice. I consider my demographic to be, I market to people that are willing to pay more to stay in a nicer place.
And it works, right?
Yeah. Well, it works, and it's a lot less complaints. It's a lot higher guest satisfaction. I've been able to maintain Airbnb Superhost status for 2 years, which I wouldn't be able to if I had, subpar properties.
And let me ask the important question. It makes a lot more money. Fair?
Yes, it makes a lot more money.
Yeah, because I know our properties make, can I say?
Oh, sure.
So we have 1-bedrooms that are pulling 70 plus. Is that true?
That's true.
Okay. And we have a 2-bedroom with a bunk is pulling how much?
Well, we haven't had it on the rental program for a full year, but I would say probably in the 90s for this year, I would expect.
Okay, that's higher than most. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
But the properties are exceptional. They are very nice. They're nice. I would say they're the nicest in the building.
Let me ask you this. How did they get nice? Did they start nice?
No, they didn't start nice at all. No, they started awful.
And I think you acted as the interior designer, right?
Yes, I also have an interior design company and do condo renovating and furnishing and all of that too.
Right. So if an owner's out there and they're not happy, if they're not getting 70 out of a 1-bedroom or 90 out of a 2-bedroom plus bunks or more than that, you're probably leaving money on the table. And you really want to make sure that you talk to a property manager like Kris, who is my wife, full disclosure, but somebody who owns in the area, is local, cares, understands. Hands-on, can get you the interior design, can get you the contractors, right? You had to hire out all the contractors and subs. You did that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and just with any of those types of things now, with supply chain issues, with shortages of anything and everything, you definitely have to plan ahead for that. It can take months to get furniture in that used to take just weeks. So I think anybody calling me today is really looking at a fall winter project, but now's the best time to do that, to get ready so that you're ready for the next season. There are things that we can do. We can go in and do some fluffing. I just did that in Gulf Shores with the condo. It was just lackluster. We weren't getting any bookings, no traction. Even with the price dropped as low as you could imagine, well below hotels or competition, it still wasn't booking. So I had a $5,000 budget. I went in and spruced up the artwork. I only had a budget to add one new piece of furniture, but within 24 hours, we took 6 bookings.
Nice.
Of changing the pictures of that. And now we're, on the way to being fully booked for the summer.
Nice.
Okay,
so sometimes it doesn't even take a lot.
Yeah.
So this is interesting though, because I'm going to go back to Andrew McClendon, the builder, who told us, because we asked him about supply chain, right? What was the windows? What did he tell us about?
120 some odd days.
6 months,
and I've been waiting
days.
6 months for my slider.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with you. If folks are planning, if they're going to make a change for 2023, I know it's a long ways off, but with supply chain stuff, it ain't that long, right?
And you can do the fluffing in the beginning stages and then do the full remodel.
Right. Yeah, there are things you can do up front, but and really kind of any remodeling and construction needs to be saved for the winter anyway. Most buildings don't allow that during the busy summer season. They don't want to be disturbing all those high paying guests, but it's smart to start that stuff now. We start ordering the supplies, have it all in hand. So when the work starts, we're not waiting and having all kinds of delays because something isn't available.
Yeah. You can't rent if you don't have a washing machine.
Yeah, you can order your tile, your appliances, your flooring, any of that kind of stuff in advance, have it all ready to go and here so that when we block off the calendar, it's all there in place and ready to go.
Okay. So I'm going to put one more thing out there. Florida's Florida. People are going to come to Florida. You can get beach fatigue all you want, but you're going to getting stabbed on the subway fatigue pretty quick too. You know what I mean? And you're going to get fatigue of sitting around in an airport with flights canceled and all that fatigue. And I think people are always going to come to the beach. Anytime you can throw your kids in the car and drive to the beach, that's always going to be an option and a very high up the list option. So, and I think with Airbnb and VRBO and some of these other things, just promoting and pushing harder and harder for these things, it's always going to be a good situation to have a vacation rental at the beach.
I mean, we don't have South Florida weather year round, but people still come here for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for fall break. It's the beach.
Those are actually really huge weeks that are commanding almost the same price as summer bookings.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So our last thing, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how's that happen?
I think the best way is just to look at my website, beachstaysvacations.com, and all my contact information and email and everything is on there. That'd be the easiest way to reach me.
Okay. Beach, BEACH, stays, STAYS, vacations with an S?
With an S, right.
.com. Okay. There you go. That was good. Good. Outside of that, any other tips or advice you'd give owners?
Well, I can't think of anything else that we haven't already discussed, but again, just having a top property with the right property manager, professional photos, you've got to have that. for all of my properties, I go in and I spend hours, you know this, John, I spend hours collecting items, and I stage the property with dishes and towels and all the things.
People with other
to really
management
make
companies
those-
call you to do that for them, don't they?
Yes, but I won't do that. It's,
That's
it's
good.
very time consuming.
That's good, because
But
you have a
having
good
the
business.
best
People should get
possible
the whole thing.
pictures, we do that. We do aerial photography or drone photography, so you can see the beach and the area. Just having the best possible listing.
Love it. Hey, let me ask you another thing then. This is the last one. Let's say you're a renter. What would you advise, or what advice would you give to somebody who's actually renting so that their expectation matches their result?
Well, the answer used to be maybe to read reviews, but the review process has become such a crazy thing where so many people
It's
try
almost
to
like
hold the
Twitter,
host
where everybody's
hostage.
just mean reviewers.
There's like a little bit of a cruelty where people, just a few days ago, I had a guy burn himself taking a pan out of the oven on his thumb, which is unfortunate for sure. But he wanted me to give him a full refund for his 8-night stay because he's so upset he got burned.
But he had a mitt. He had an oven mitt on.
He had an oven mitt on, supposedly. But I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't even compute. That doesn't make sense
focus
to me.
on that one negative thing. Not that they had a great time at the beach or anything.
Well, I think because
and
prices
it's not
are
realistic to think that is going to be grounds for getting a refund.
Yeah.
But, he fought the fight through the booking site and, and then left to, a nasty review after the fact. So read all the reviews, I would say, of a property. And, whenever you can, like when you're booking on a booking site, I always, if I'm booking something, I find something on a booking site, I'll try to find that company or that person to go directly through them. Those booking sites can charge as much as 15%.
Yeah.
Which when we're all trying to save money, you can certainly save money by booking directly. And then just, kind of finding out what, look at their website, see what they're offering, what they're telling you.
For sure. All right. Well, that's good. That's good. I appreciate that. So beachstaysvacations.com. Kris will be able to help you increase your rent. If you're not getting big dollars, shame on you, because there's money out there to be had. All right, Kris, thanks so much. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
So there we go. Beach Stays Vacations. Now here, it is interesting because rents are so expensive that people expect that 4 Seasons experience, but not staying at the 4 Seasons or paying 4 Seasons money, right? Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
So it's really weird.
I
some
think
of the things
they get here and they might be already a little ticked off because gas prices were so expensive. This vacation we thought was going to be $1,000. It's now $2,000, and we're just walking in the door. So then just the littlest thing. But it sounds like with beach stays, I mean, it's clean. It's got everything that you could imagine.
Her people are crushing it.
Yeah, I love it.